Welcome to St. Francis version of Take First. I'm your host, Janae King, and I'm joined by Kendall Robinson and Jonathan Marquardt. On this, we'll debate about the football team and basketball team. Our first topic of debate will be about football and their disappointing season. Kendall, we'll start with you.
You know, it's funny. I'm kind of interested in seeing what's going to happen this upcoming season. E.J. White was just tremendous throughout his career at the University of St. Francis. He's overseas playing now. It's just amazing his career and where he's gone after he's graduated from St. Francis. Troy Torrance and Trey Wallace, I am so excited for these two to take the field together on offense. It's going to be so exciting. Like, I feel like they may make a top 10 play. Troy, they're hard-working athletes. They're in the weight room. They're getting after it. Trace is going to be the starting quarterback. I just feel like it's going to be the Trace and Torrance show. Defense, you got so many people returning. We have like 3 or 4 seniors that's graduated that's going to be key on that defense. I feel like it is very, very important for them to show how dominant their defense is, because I feel like they are just one of the best in this conference. You have that front line of Eric Davis, Albert Cruz coming off at ends. They're going to be hard to stop. Those are some bad boys. And then I heard they got a new addition, a transfer from Eastern Illinois, Calvin Brayboy. They're going to move him to defensive end. Tim Smith is coming off injury. He's a monster. He's just a freak of nature in the weight room. Like, the man is just outrageous for his size. He looks like a Greek god, one might say. So it's very interesting to see what the University of St. Francis team do this season after their disappointing loss on senior night, losing to Taylor University, the game that could have sent them to the playoffs, and they probably would have had a good season and went far. So I think this season will be a good test and show how hungry they are to getting that national championship that they once desired in 2011. Hopefully they'll come back, but I really feel like it will be a great season for them.
Jonathan, let's hear your thoughts.
I agree with a lot of what you just said. That loss to Taylor was definitely devastating. It was on senior night. They were going to playoffs. They got something to prove. This is Coach Curry's 3rd year. We got a perfect storm on offense with Torrance and Wanless. E.J. White graduated with a great record, so that's kind of a shining light in their history. It's something to motivate the new players. So I think with Coach Curry's new experience, the great team we have on offense, I think we can get some big wins. I think we can see a lot of points get put up this year.
Okay, thanks guys for your thoughts. Right after the break, we'll be talking about our defensive team without Jeff Nolans. Welcome back. After 7 seasons with the Saints defensive coordinator Jeff Nolans, he decided to go to NC State. How would this affect the Saints defense? Kendall, we'll start with you.
Jonathan, my friend, I seen this coming a long time ago. I think it all started when Jeff Curry became the head football coach at the University of St. Francis. There was a time in 2012 when the Saints were doing good, and then they hit a big fence called St. Xavier, who they have not beaten in 15 out of 16 contests. They have been totally dominated by University of St. Xavier. They got into a little altercation right there, and I thought it was going to come to blows. But the Saints defense have been balling. Ever since Joe Curry has taken over the offense, it seems like it's going down a little bit, and the defense is just balling. And I'm looking over, I can remember just like it was yesterday. It was the number 16 William Penn versus St. Francis. In 2012, they just could not seem to get the job done. Defense had a hell of a game. Didn't touch the field in the third quarter because E.J. White had threw 2 interceptions that called for a pick 6. So that was a little frustrating. Then last season, you had arguably one of the greatest defense of all time at University of St. Francis history with Jeff Casella, who's a dog, by the way. I mean, that dude can just flat out play. I mean, the amount of sacks that he got and TFLs he caused last year, just unbelievable. Like, the dude is just bad. Like, no one can stop him. He jumps the snap count every time, and the offense players just can't seem to get a hand on him. He's always in the quarterback's face. So that is just one big plus that Jeff Knowles had on this defense. Now that he's gone, I'm wondering how will it affect them. You still have Joe Curry, who in 2011 was running the defense when Mike Urinovich was the head coach. So he still is going to have his hands in the defense, still keep things the same. The players are returning, like I said, Albert Cruz, Eric Davis, Tim Smith. Jamal Graham's at linebacker, Kenny Mason at linebacker, and Mike Passo, who Jeff Knowles had recruited here to come play. So that's going to be real interesting how they adapt. I feel like they still will be a great defense up front. No one's going to be able to stop them boys, especially with Jeff Casella in there, because it's just a freak of nature. But it's going to be interesting. I hope that their defense still be a dominant impact on the game and be the reason why they win majority of their games.
I don't know. I mean, the defense definitely has some plus to it, but I remember one game at St. Xavier, which you said that we haven't really won in conference play against in 15 out of 16 times, I think you said. We were competitive the entire game. The Saints' offense and defense are working pretty well the entire
get
time.
Out of here.
The entire time we were
Get
competitive, but every time Xavier scored on us, it was because we got a turnover. And these turnovers, if we keep letting them happen, we're going to be out of playoffs.
No, the reason why you can't beat St. Xavier is because you get out-coached every time. Let's think about this. 16 times this team, St. Francis and St. Xavier have played each other, and they have not beaten them more than twice. They've only had one win. That is total domination. Total domination. In 2012, when Jeff Knowles and then Curry became head coach, the offense didn't score not a single touchdown. It was pathetic. It was the first time in probably EJ's career he hasn't thrown a touchdown. So I don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear that.
I don't know, man. Like, the one thing that I saw, it was just humiliating, and every time it was because of turnover. It was turnover after turnover after turnover, and then we lost. It was sad. We definitely have something good going on, but we got to bring it out.
Thanks, guys. Before we get out of here, I just want to have breaking news that Jeff Casella will not be playing this year due to academic difficulties.
Jonathan, my friend, it's just getting worse and worse and worse for the Saints as we continue to go down. First they lose Jeff Knowles, now they lose two-time All-American Jeff Casella. I mean, it's just heartbreaking, and it's crazy that this happened. You said due to academic difficulties, right?
Correct.
Mike Harris should be fired, in my opinion. I mean, the man just lost the best player on defense for St. Francis. And not only that, he's a new defensive line coach. So I just don't understand how this is possible for him to let his best player on the team, but his best player that he coached every day in practice, to get kicked out because of his grades. He's in charge of study zone. If Jeff Casella is not there, he's supposed to be on his ass and make it happen. You know, this is just ridiculous. Like, this is going to be a tough season for the Saints, and I hope they can come over adversity. Cause, wow, this is outrage.
Jonathan, do you have anything to say?
I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's Mike's fault because, yes, he does run the study zone and he is ultimately the coach and he's in control of his players, but at the same time, it comes up to the students, so you can't just show up to study zone and pass a class. You gotta sleep right, you gotta show up to class, you gotta do your homework, you gotta show up to study zone. There's a lot more than just the coach. But it is definitely a shame that Jeff is leaving. We're losing all of our good Jeffs. It's a little weird that they're both named Jeff and we lost them. It's a shame. Jeff was a total powerhouse on the field. It was actually intimidating watching him play. He was just such a monster out there, and it's sad to see him go. He definitely deserved that All-American spot.
Thanks, guys. This has been First Take, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks to talk about the first two games of the season.